All right, go.
We're on a conference line there, and we had one member say that he would call in at 12, and then a second one said she would call in 5 minutes. So we're hoping to get them.
All right, so welcome to the November meeting. It's our last meeting that we will be together for this calendar year. And thank you for those who are here. There's not very many of us. We have some people calling in by phone who should be joining us hopefully very soon. So I don't want to delay our guests here, so let's just get started. We can't approve anything yet until we have one person participating. All right, so Bill will give us some information that he has.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that quickly. We have some good news on numbers. The city of White Plains, we got in contact with them and got them to send us a PDF copy of their recommendation letter, and we sent that up to the director of the governor's office for public service, which used to be the governor's appointments office. So they said if we get a PDF, we can start the process. So presumably they can start the process. Also Ellen spoke to Putnam County, and they have sent a recommendation letter for the mayor Brewster to be our member from Putnam County. So that's good news. And then Walter, I was hoping that was. I was hoping to get Francis to give us an update on that, because he was going to do that and he was supposed to call in. So I don't have anything further than yes, he's taking care of it. But Walter, Walter still was not up there, but Francis had said he's taking care of it. So maybe if he calls in, we can ask him where that stands. On the Bronx, Wilhelm Ronda has agreed to rejoin us, and the borough president's office is willing to reappoint him. So they're going to. We sent him a sample letter, and they're going to.
Yeah, Marisol
Halpern.
But they worked it all out, which was good.
But everything, he was afraid that they really wanted somebody who was on staff to be there, and apparently that didn't.
And they thought maybe he didn't want to, so it was just miscommunication.
And they thought he didn't want to be on any longer, so it was a miscommunication, but they can re-recommend him and have him reappointed.
So that still means one. So if we get White Plains,
yes, we have another one.
We have still one more.
Yes, we have another one we're working on that we're told was set up, but there's no record of it up in Albany. So we're trying to get from the city of New Rochelle. We're trying to get a copy of their recommendation letter, so that we can send that up to.
This is from where?
City or town of New Rochelle?
Okay.
But anyway, whatever it is, New Rochelle's mayor said that he told us that he had recommended somebody, but it's not findable up in Albany. So if we can get that copy, we can send it up via email.
So this is all for hopefully 2018. This time
2018 will be
next time. Next year, this time we won't be talking about this anymore. We'll be up to full strength for the first time ever. Okay. Well, we could do the administrative stuff later.
We don't have a quorum right now anyway. So
introduce yourselves and please.
I'm Phil Diaz. I'm in the Customer Service and Stations Department. I'm the Director of Station Operations. Under me, I handle the ticket offices throughout the territory as well as in GCT. Custodial services throughout the territory, not GCT, and parking.
You do west of Hudson also?
West of Hudson as well, that's correct. So we have a staff of 95 custodians. We have a staff of 90 ticket sellers, obviously spread out throughout the territory. On the Hudson line, we have 2 custodial districts. One that handles the upper, one that handles the lower and west of Hudson. And on the Harlem line, we have 2 districts as well. From Pleasantville down to the Bronx, and from Auburn up to the SIG. And then New Haven, we have 2 branches, 2 divisions that cover Stanford East, Stanford West, and then from
So you do Connecticut?
a lot of Connecticut is maintained from the cleaning standpoint by the municipalities. So we have very few stations in the Connecticut area. Most of them are run by the towns.
What's the staff size ratio to the number of stations?
So it depends on certain areas, depending on the ridership, we'll have a lot more custodians for those areas. We have, when we get down to the Bronx area, the lower Harlem, lower Hudson are extremely busy. So those districts are staffed up. Our Stanford district that goes down to New Rochelle has heavy ridership. So we have married guys at particular high ridership stations. We have finesse guys that'll come in and do kind of just your everyday cleaning. And then we also have the e-cleaning, which is extraordinary cleaning, the guys that are going around with the power washers.
And that's exclusive of the tracks, the right of way?
We stay off the right of way. We only do the platforms, staircases, overpasses, station buildings, and then we also do all the yard facilities as well, all the office space. We don't go into the shop area itself, but any office space within the yard facilities we clean and maintain. So we're spread out all over. We have a lot of staff in various areas. We've had to increase New Haven with the new facility up with the CCO shop. And actually earlier this year we increased our extraordinary cleaners due to a good faith challenge. So we had to increase the size of our staff that go out and do e-cleaning for safety, having a safety lookout, so to speak, when the guys are using the heavy machines on the platform, similar to roadway worker protection.
So what was that? That was a policy change?
No, good faith challenge that was submitted by an employee. We used to have 2 cleaners doing the power washing, one operating the nozzle, one operating the hose. And now we went up to 3. So now we have a guy that's not responsible to do any work. His responsibility is to watch for the trains, blow his whistle when the trains are approaching, make sure cones are set up. It's a safety position.
Or safety challenge.
Right.
I have seen them at Tarrytown. Actually, there's only 2 stations I've ever seen your crews, because the stations I use, Tarrytown and Nanuet. And Jeff over there is
Jeff is great.
outstanding.
He does a great job.
He's really
does a great
outstanding.
Right. I have an issue though. Spring Valley seems to be a big problem. He explained it to us. And if we can do something with that municipality, which is kind of recalcitrant,
Yeah.
we'd like to do something.
Yeah, we've had some trouble in Spring Valley. The vendor that's in the building isn't keeping up their end. We've talked to Greystone, the facilities manager, see if we can, keep on top of them. Not opening the bathrooms timely, things like that. And then just what has become a little bit of a hangout within the station area. And Jeff cleans the station, and 5 minutes later, there's garbage.
You're absolutely correct. And I think it's partially the problem with the municipality, that they'd like to shove all the problems of the municipality off on Metro North
I agree.
and just leave them there. And it's something we're eventually going to have to
There's
do.
a whole new governor was elected
Yeah.
Tuesday, so maybe things will be improved.
Right.
We've also asked MTA PD to include that as one of their primary spots where they're
Yeah.
going.
You and I then are on the same track on that one. There's an empty police booth there, and I've been pushing to see that we can get a policeman in there occasionally, even if he's not there full-time. If he just goes in and shows up, a police car out in front will keep a lot of things straightened out, and I think improve the issue. But the Spring Valley Police would rather them not come, so they can dump all the problems on Metro North. But we're still trying to push that with MTA Police.
Yeah, we've contacted them as well, and just the patrolling of the station, so that's been beefed up a little bit, but yeah, we can see, about if there's any possibility of having them come into the station building a little bit. I know the building you're talking about.
Yeah, that they could use that and just go in there occasionally and just be there for a little while. Susan Metzger, who's the chair of the committee, has said when they had a police car showing up at Harriman, it helped quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it helps deter any, you know.
That could be very effective law enforcement, just the presence of the car there.
Francina had an issue. Did you have that email where she,
Yeah, I don't have the email with me, unfortunately.
our
Yeah.
Dutchess County representative,
Yeah.
see if I can.
You know, you don't deal with suffering.
No, Suffern's not one of our stations, that's the
New Jersey
first
Transit.
New Jersey Transit station.
What we're working on, just to let you know, is we're working on seeing if we can get Metro North to work with New Jersey Transit. Metro North is going to have to pay for it, is have that a handicapped accessible station.
Yeah, no, that's a problem.
It is because the paratransit vehicles, services from Rockland County can't go around through Route 17 because it's across the state line. And the village of Suffolk, who I think has a new mayor, is interested in doing transit-oriented development, and that station is not well maintained.
Yeah, we've took a ride over there a few times just to look at it, and we had great and
We're trying to get our local officials directly involved on that and see if we can push for it and get it funded and get it to look like a decent place. You know?
Now, do you also handle the snow removal and all of that, or is that different? Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm Walter Berger. I'm the Deputy Director of Stations and Facilities under Track and Structures. I'm responsible for from 59th Street to the far ends of the railroad, to New Haven, Passaic, Poughkeepsie, west of Hudson, all the stations and facilities, maintenance facilities. Snow removal is done with a combination of different things. Some is in-house with Metro North facility personnel. The parking lots, a lot of the parking lots are done through Phil's group, through LAS, through contractor LAS, and then there's certain stations that we have 6 stations presently that are done by a contractor, include well, more than 6 east of Hudson, and west of Hudson ones are done by a contractor.
There was last year.
Huge issue.
Yes.
I had to send my personnel down there
Right on.
to do that. We had negotiations with it. Actually, the contract ran out this past year. They put it out for RFP. They had some new bidders and also some of the same bidders. And we ironed out. He didn't get all the money he was looking at. He thought it was going to get because we had to do his job.
Okay, so do we have a new contractor that's?
That one on the west of Hudson is, I think, the same contractor, but he has there's new guidelines that he has to, we rewrote the whole contract.
So his responsibility is the entire platform and the steps going up to the middle.
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
And it's a fun, anyone is a funny station because Metro North is responsible for the platform, the right of way is New Jersey Transit, and the parking lot is the town of Boston.
We have a lot, especially as Phil said, on the maintenance on the New Haven line. We have the station building is CDOT owns them, but they lease it out to the
Sure.
town, or the town is responsible because they collect the revenue from the parking lot.
Yes.
And I'm responsible for some of the platforms, but not some. There's a whole matrix, especially for Connecticut.
It's a little more easy.
Oh.
So-
New York
So-
side is much easier.
So, I mean, if you know, we have a snowstorm and God forbid, I get information because the commuters email me because they know who I am.
Yes.
And I notify whoever the Metro North superintendent is, and he will presumably know to contact you.
They know to
Should I
contact us.
contact you?
You can contact me. We have a gentleman that is monitoring the contractor. We also have, one of my counterparts is working with Long Island Railroad. They have a new it's a weather management system that we're looking to get into, which is tracking that and how we get updates continually from contractors or our own personnel of platforms being cleared, not being cleared. They are our biggest hassle. We took away Yankee Stadium, because we have a crew that's now stationed at a Mott Haven Yard down in the Bronx that's gonna take care of Yankee Stadium. We took that away from the contractor because I was going home one night during a snowstorm and I emailed our manager and said, hey, contractor was here, but he only did in front of the staircase. Why isn't? And his response was, oh, well, that's where the people gotta go up the stairs. So I said, well, they gotta get off the whole train. That's why there's a 12-car platform there,
Yeah.
So we took that away, and I have a new cruise. I just got approved for this year, cruise at a hybrid. So next year, and we put that in the contract that we can eliminate at any time stations or areas. So I got some new personnel starting at hybrid starting next year. So the 2018 to the 2019 snow season, I will take 2 more stations away from the contract.
Oh, all right.
On top of that, with what we do in customer service, whenever there's a snowstorm or any type of major weather event where trees are down or the power's out, we send customer service personnel around to visit each location and get a report on the conditions, the lighting, ticket selling machines, and we report that to Walter's guys who will, get it to the guys out in the field to whether hit back or, we always have this snow, they clear it and they, ice may freeze back over and we work together closely with Walter's crew to ensure they get that.
This is last year's, waiting for because they just closed on those, the bids. This is what we have, this is just our snow matrix of who is responsible for what station.
So, what's the expectation for, because last year during the problem, it seemed like, oh, they're having a hard time getting to this station. What's the expectation that it should be cleared by rush hour? Or, if it's snowing overnight, how early should they be getting there to make sure it's cleared? And to make sure.
Contractor, they have it in there, they have, it's 2 inches, I think, or once it reaches 2 inches, they better be there.
Then it's them.
Yes.
Okay.
For ourselves, if we know that it's supposed to start at snowing at midnight, we'll have the crews in place prior to midnight, and we will dispatch them out because we cover huge territories.
So that's for your crews. So they don't have the same thing where once is there a trigger that says, okay, you're at 2 inches, so come in contractor and start?
They're supposed to automatically do that. That doesn't mean that happens. So we will, if we get notified that, hey, no one's touched this location, Jonathan Myers, who is my manager that works under us, he's in contact with them throughout the whole snow event.
So if it's an overnight snow, it seems like that's the one that's so.
They should be out there continuous.
They should be out there in the middle of the night,
Yes.
so that by rush
Oh, yes.
hour,
No,
there's
they're not
there's
starting
not
in the morning or waiting till it's done
Yeah.
snowing. We have the same thing for the last contract with the snow removal. Once it hits the threshold 2 inches, you have to start coming out. Now, they're doing 3 or 4 parking lots with one contractor. We may start at station A with 2 inches. By the time he gets to station B, there may be 6 inches.
And that's legitimate. It's not that he is expected to have enough crew to handle when the snow is coming down so heavily, to have 3 people stationed at 3 stations.
We do expect them to make sure they're staffed properly. Obviously, there's issues getting to and from stations if the weather's really bad, but we expect them to plan for
Yeah.
that type of stuff.
Yeah,
And
who's
then-
there? Hello, who's on the phone?
Someone on a train, it sounds like.
Who's on the phone?
Sounds like a train.
Someone on a train, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Rich Dock.
Oh, Rich, okay.
Oh, Rich, thanks for calling in. Okay, we're official now. All right. All right, so let me just bring you up to speed. We have the gentleman from the stations, and they can give us explaining how it works with the maintenance and the cleaning and the snow and all of that.
So, when they're going after the contract, they're to a certain extent proving that they've got the capacity to accomplish the task for a heavy snow. And light, that's fine, but you take the most extreme conditions and they get judged on their abilities to meet the demands of those conditions. Does that get looked at, how big their staff is, who they can pull from, that sort of thing?
I wasn't involved in the contract, but I'm gonna say, dealing with other contracts, with construction contracts, that's exactly how we would look at it. Can you handle, a snowstorm of this capacity, and would you be able to staff it? Now, can be a yes, and
Right,
in reality,
versus, okay, how are we gonna do that?
being no.
It
Yeah.
comes down to managing the
I
contract.
don't understand
You have
how the
to-
whole
So
snow
we-
removal staffing thing.
We had a huge issue, not just on the west of Hudson stations, all of the places with the contractor last year. And that's why we were glad that the contract was running out and we rewrote. They spent a lot of time rewriting the contract, putting in a lot
Oh,
of.
they did, so this is a
Yes.
different contract, things.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, they didn't just put it back out, they rewrote the whole contract to all the issues that we had, we put verbiage in there to stop that from happening again. Tried to stop it from happening.
And that contract is also the one that covers plowing the parking lots?
No,
Separate contract.
Okay.
no, so I have a contract in my group under the LAS parking, which LAS subcontracts out companies to plow the parking lot. Again, we were in pretty good shape last year. There was a few locations where we had to get them on the phone, like, get the guys there, we have some issues. Or there could be a spot, which is always an issue, where they didn't realize it fell under the contract. So we had to contact, clarify, no, that sidewalk is part of you, so they would take care of it. They're pretty
Could
responsive.
someone from your staff go out and review with one of the principals of the company or whoever else they wanted to bring from their staff and say, at this station, this is what you do and this is what you do with the other station?
Actually, that's part of what we did, and they did a lot of Google Maps and a lot of Val Maps, because a lot of, as you had stated, on the west of Hudson with Nanuet, stuff like that, it's, well, a lot of times we have municipalities, not that particular, but we've had some of them where, oh, that's Metro North, so that's Metro North. Marble Hill would be a good example. The sidewalk, our power department actually clears the Marble Hill station, and they do the walkway out to the sidewalk, and they do the sidewalk coming out. Well, they're like, well, you gotta do the whole sidewalk. If you look at the Val map, it actually stops at the curb cut line of where the expansion joint,
And
the
the city's
sidewalk, and
responsible?
it's, yes.
Same problem at Fordham Station now.
Yes.
The Fordham Station is going back and forth with the city. The city, guidelines that, not guidelines, city policies that you have to clear your storefront or in front of your building. Well, not, Metro North doesn't do it. The city is responsible for those sidewalks. So there's always a.
And you always get someone who doesn't know the rules.
Or they wanna
Just see if
bend
they
it
can
your way to
push it,
see if
yeah.
you can.
I mean, I'm speaking about Nanuet a lot because we are always going there, and it's the busiest station in Rockland. And Lori has been keeping particular attention. I mean, we had for many years, the call box wasn't working, and we started at a Metro North committee meeting, and shortly after, that got taken care of.
So what we're doing now is, we have our inspectors and customer service group that goes out. As part of their station and parking lot inspections, we include the call boxes. So they're testing those. We also talked to MTAPD that they should be tested as well. The Clarkstown, that call box used to call the Clarkstown Police Department.
Right.
No longer
Yes.
does that. It goes to MTAPD.
Okay, that's
So
good to know.
we changed all the communication lines, our CNS department, put our own line in there that goes directly to our.
So since you brought that up, there were several cameras attached to the shelter, which is not in the greatest of shape, because when it rains, water comes down, not inside, but when you walk out. There's cameras, we were informed recently are not functioning anymore, they're old technology, and they need digital ones like the rest of the town, and we were invited to visit their police center where they are monitoring these cameras, which I thought, as an aside, never worked, but they were working the time we were there. And they're not working now, and it's a very important area to have cameras, so,
Yeah, those were tied into Clarkstown as well.
Yeah,
so-
they are.
Yeah.
and they should be, but they're looking for someone to to pay for the new cameras. And it's not, I mean, for you and me to have to shell a couple of grand. Hello? What are we getting now? You still rich?
Maybe mute the,
Oh, Francina. All right, thank you, Francina. We're talking about stations, and right now we're talking about west of Hudson and the responsibilities, who has what. But if you can get involved in that, I mean, I think it's an important place to have cameras and.
What happened with that one, I was actually, because I've only been in this position for 4 years now.
Okay.
I was in CNS for a good portion of my career here. The police paid for the call box and those cameras to be installed. Now it would be a matter of if we were to take it over, which we usually don't do, is to hand off that video feed to the police and be responsible for maintaining something that they own. But I will bring it up and let them.
Yeah, but it's a platform.
Again, they were the ones that paid for it, and I'm just speaking because our security, and they'd be, well, now we need a feed for those things.
I could give a little background on that. Actually, what happened was, there was a perk that a state senator had, that they had some money to make improvements at train stations in Rockland County. So their office called me and said, what should we do? And I said, put in security cameras. So initially, what happened was, there was some state funding to do it, and Metro North actually had to contribute a little extra to push it over the top so that the town could get it and hook it up to the police station. And but what's happened now is it's old technology.
Yeah, I mean,
We need to do
I
some
said
stuff
before, for us,
before it
it's,
goes.
to have to shell out a couple of grand would be a problem, but in the whole scheme of things, we're not talking about a lot of money. So if you could get, that would be
I'll
good.
bring it to the communications department, which would handle it.
I mean, an East of Hudson question. For a station like Nourishell, where I think the town owns that
Building.
station,
Yes.
how does maintenance, how do you interact with the maintenance needs of that station?
Of the station
The
building.
station building and environment at all, or?
Only the overpass, the stairwells up to the overpasses and the platforms themselves. The station
That's
building is strictly the town's.
When
When
was
you
that?
walk out the back door of the station building,
Yeah,
there's a.
where the taxis
there's-
are and-
No, I'm
No.
going onto the platform.
Oh, by the
platform
platform.
So there's a monitor directly in front of you and a couple of machines.
Yeah,
There's, right above that is where the awning off of the station building meets the canopy.
uh-huh.
That is the property line. So
Oh,
everything
I see,
beyond,
okay, yes.
everything beyond
The
that,
shed, that's where you pick up?
yes.
and-
So everything beyond that or east of that, we clean, Walter's guys maintain. Everything behind that, the city of New Rochelle handles. The only thing that Walter's guys may go into and my cleaners go into is the ticket office. Inside the ticket office itself where the seller sits. The waiting
Yeah,
room.
you don't
Are
worry about
there-
what's going in there.
What?
Are there many other stations that are that circumstance east of Hudson?
Let's see,
In
Portchester?
Portchester, so Portchester owns their building?
No, well,
I didn't-
there's a net lease there
Right.
to a restaurant. We still have the
Yes,
ticket booth in
exactly.
there,
But you
so.
all did the work, the infrastructure work to enable that vendor to go in and do the net lease.
Yeah, well, the vendor actually did a lot of
They
that
did a lot
work
of it.
themselves. Yeah, they put the original guy
But it
that
was
was
that
in there.
partnership that was so
Yeah.
nice that made that station.
He
it's
put,
great.
He put probably $1 million of his own money into that.
Which station is this?
Portchester.
Portchester.
Between the outside
They put like a
beer
beer garden.
garden area.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
but so as far as this, the building getting sold off completely so that there's not that circumstance, is there anything else? Or it's quite unique?
That would be one of the other ones
that New Rochelle,
Yeah.
got sold off.
that we still have.
And they've owned it, Rochelle's owned it for decades?
Long time.
Long time. I think they want to give it back to us.
Well, this is the thing, because it's, if Metro North ever considers that, because it reflects the image of Metro North and the other stations being so well kept, and thinking, oh, if there would ever be consideration, to help that station along, just because it hasn't coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that real estate, you know, I don't know.
That's what we should talk to.
Rich and Francina, I want to give you an opportunity to ask any questions if you have any. If you have any questions, please, there's an opportunity to give them while we made a break here for you. Francina, everything is okay up at New Hamburg?
Yeah, I just have one question about the Harriman parking lot during snow.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Very big lot, I'd say holds about 400 cars, and when they have heavy snow, they build up big pile mounds, and they usually put a couple in front of where the people get off the train. And I'm just saying, why can't they put them way in the back where nobody parks?
Makes sense.
Yeah, we move a lot of that snow up to that top corner there where there's a couple trailers. But I'll talk to the contractor if there's any other opportunity to move some of it. Is it kind of near the sidewalk area where the shelters are?
Yeah, when they get off the train, it's like about 6 lanes, and they're always filled. I guess they don't want to move the piles down by where the trailers are.
Okay, I'll look into that.
This is what you get feedback from people who are out there.
Sure, absolutely.
See the service, this is why we're here.
Well, that was reading your emails and that, and one of the things was how do we get a lot of our information? It's from commuters. It's from,
They're out there running.
they ride and they, you know, his department will get a customer complaint or not necessarily a complaint, an issue, and they'll forward it to me and I'll take care of it if it's
So
something.
if you get in the office a complaint, what do you do with it?
We forward it usually to Mark Mannix.
Yeah, and then
he
Mark-
forward it to
Mark
you.
will
And so-
forward it.
Yeah, which
We'll try
was
to
what
get it.
happened. And
He gets it to
your
the right-
responsiveness is fantastic.
You would like for them to continue to do this, or
Yeah,
you would like to get them directly?
I think that's the best way to,
To funnel
go
through,
through
yeah,
Mark
so
first.
Mark-
Well, often we're not sure
Yeah.
exactly who handles
Exactly.
something.
Right, exactly.
Because if it's a station issue, it could be it could be town issue, it could be a stations issue, it could be your area somewhere, and we're not really sure, so that works out pretty well to have Mark
Yeah.
guide us on where it should go.
Well, even sometimes, like Mr. Kessinger, our vice president, he sends me pictures all the time of this or that at the station, which I appreciate, because that's how I know, if someone doesn't catch it. He had one that was a light fixture, which he thought was mine, because I have electricians, but no, it actually is in the parking lot, and it was Phil's. So he sends it to me, and I say, okay, and I forward it to Phil, and we deal with it, and we get it
If they
fixed.
reject it, it's say find someone else.
And do you, from your customer service input, are there 3 stations that